We're throwing it back.
20 years, baby.
Movies. The average person can be inspired by them. They can make us laugh. Movies can keep us on the edge of our seat, and so much more. Maddie's Movie Mix is a podcast for movie enthusiasts of all kinds. We hope you enjoy the show.
Another Maddie's Movie Mix throwback.
Here we are.
Lord of the Rings, Two Towers.
How is this 20 years old already?
I know.
Gosh,
crazy.
it's amazing.
Yeah. And Ian McKellen's back.
He's back.
Yeah. He's back in white.
He is. Well, he is. Yes, you're right.
He's a white wizard now.
He is. He has leveled up, played some D&D.
Yeah.
And has evolved. It was fun when he was because the way the wizards work is when they're reborn, they don't always recollect their memory. Speaking of him being back, there he is.
Yeah.
About him being like Saruman, like, oh, Saruman's like a name I've heard before, and then you realize he's who he is, which is a fun way to do that.
Yeah, it was a fun way to do it. Have you read the books?
I've read the first two books 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
I get through the third book and get about halfway, knowing that there's only half the book left. Knowing I've already invested the first 2 books, which aren't small.
No.
Thinking the end is near. I just can't do it. I've gotten through the third book halfway 3 times. I just can't finish it.
Is it that bad?
It's just really slow. It goes into a lot of like the back lore and stuff. And I mean, this movie, it really is about people just traveling around, especially when you're focusing on Frodo and Samwise. They're just migrating to Mordor is essentially what there's not a ton that happens with them.
Yeah.
I mean, you get the spider scene. Well, spoiler, that's the third film.
Yeah.
But there's really not a lot that happens to them. But this movie is fun. So there's just, the third one's hard. It's just a lot of traveling.
Yeah. Well, they film these back to back.
Yeah.
To back.
To back. Oh, never mind. There's only 3.
Right.
Yeah.
And but this one budgets at $94 million.
Yeah. Which is comparable to the rest of them, right?
Yeah, I think they kind of even it out. And New Line Cinema, I believe, is who did this, right?
Yep.
And that was a huge risk for them. They're the only ones that would pick it up and do it and all that kind of stuff. That's amazing.
Yeah.
You talked about off camera too. The CGI is minimal.
Right.
A lot of green screen though. But yeah, a lot
helps that New Zealand is just gorgeous.
Oh man, yeah.
I haven't been there, but I've seen it through the Shire.
Yeah. They have a Shire. Like I think,
which makes sense.
I think it's like a Airbnb type thing over there.
Just gonna sleep in a hole.
They built it like
That's
literally.
too short.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think I read that somewhere.
I think
on
Megan
the internet,
would do well
so
in
it's
there.
got to be real.
Everything would be sized to her height.
Yeah. Oh sure, yeah, gotcha. Yeah. I really liked Viggo Mortensen, and I really liked Karl Urban in this. You know, they were the first real exposure that I had to them, and so I kind of looked, them up on other things back then.
Right.
And I really, Viggo Mortensen, he's not spectacular, but he's real consistent.
Right.
Karl Urban's kind of he seems like a fun guy.
Right.
And so it's kind of neat to see some of his different things he's done. And so, those characters got me into other things, and movies and stuff, but I digress. The dang thing did $936 million.
Buku bucks.
You probably hardly remember when this came out.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not at all.
I was in the theater the opening day.
Oh, were you?
Yeah. It was nuts,
man. At least it was a theatrical version.
Yeah. Right. And but it was crazy because the lines were insane. The first one
I miss those days.
Yeah.
We don't have them anymore.
No, we don't.
Which is a bummer.
We don't. We probably never will again.
No.
Until the next something comes out that is like somehow interactive 3D weird, when I'm
right.
I'm 87. I had a birthday yesterday.
You are getting up there.
I turned 87.
You must be
like Aragorn,
a Dundalin or whatever race he is.
Yeah, something like that. So
this is your first time watching the extended edition, wasn't it?
It is, and that's where I learned that. That's on the extended edition. It wasn't in the
50 extra minutes of greatness, or 45, 50 minutes.
55, I thought.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a lot.
It's crazy,
but it adds so much.
It does.
It's not one of those extended editions where you're just getting weird, playful interactions with people. Everything that was in it added to the story and the back lore of Lord of the Rings.
Totally. Worth every 355 minutes.
Yeah. I think
300. 3 hours. I said 300. 3 hours and 55 minutes.
Yeah, 3 hours. Yeah, because it's almost a 12-hour experience. It's like watching.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter movies, I think, are just about 12 hours long if you watch all of them.
Sure.
And Lord of the Rings, just watching 3 movies.
Yeah.
The extended editions, same amount of time.
Yeah. Some of those details, though, that you do learn are pretty important. It helps you enjoy the story a lot more. I thought it was a lot of fun to have that and see that and experience that.
Yeah.
I want to watch the other two now. I want to buy it now again.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought it originally when they came out, but not the extended
editions.
But
man.
it's like, wow, this is cool.
Yeah. Going back to Merry and Pippin when they were drinking the Ent water. They actually grew and they mentioned that.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Because that was in the books. And when they come back to the Shires and meeting up with the other people, like they were significantly taller than all the other hobbits.
Yeah.
Which is just, there's just small, cool details that make a big impact.
Right. The food, where they found the food and the the weed.
Right.
that was in there.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. Because it wraps it up, right? It really, it's the whole package.
2 epic scenes too. You got the battle at Helm's Deep.
Yes.
Super cool the way they did the waves. And then you got Isengard with the Ents.
Yes.
So cool.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love these films. Yeah.
Epic.
Huge.
Super, super sad that Peter Jackson is not involved in that new stuff.
Yeah, the new series on Amazon where they paid $1 billion, but didn't include the guy who made the series the revamp at least to what it is today.
Right.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Oh man, weird.
And the reason The Hobbit sucked was because Warner Brothers was pushing it to get done super fast, so they couldn't take the time they wanted to.
Right. Exactly. You're talking about somebody that was clearly very successful with telling those stories.
Yeah.
Right. And then Warner Brothers comes in and does that. I mean, we're getting off track for this throwback, but anyway, it's interesting to see how the storytelling for me was dynamic in this, especially this extended version.
The music is phenomenal.
Yeah,
builds into it.
Mm-hmm. You just don't have it anymore.
No,
No,
nothing like this.
No.
I mean,
even Top Gun Maverick is not this good.
No. I would agree. I love this film.
Yeah.
This
whole series for me is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
I can
sleep
I can't
through
watch
it
over and over and over and over. No.
But it's like one of those things I don't watch every year because, it is a big time commitment to watch all 3. And the hard part is so we started with 2 Towers.
Yeah.
And I was like, we're starting in the middle, which is weird. But I understand Fellowship. I understand what happens because I've seen that movie enough times.
Yeah, and this is a throwback.
Right,
so this
exactly.
is 2002, and that's, you picked it, so there's that, there's that.
It's because it was the first one.
I know. It was the number one, and
for good reason.
Yeah, for very good reason. But it does bring you in and you want more.
Yeah, I watched Return of the King.
Yeah.
I'm now currently listening to an audiobook for The Fellowship of the Ring, narrated by Andy Serkis.
Nice.
I am loving it.
So is it the actual book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's reading through the whole thing, and gosh, Andy Serkis is a talented man.
He is.
It's
for sure.
Even what he does with Gollum.
Yeah.
Never been done before.
Right. And he was like in the green suit.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wow.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Super eerie.
And what was interesting too is in the Fellowship, they didn't have the technology. They were creating the technology for him to do that in Two Towers.
And he kicked butt.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool stuff.
It is.
It's like the Matrix when all kinds of inventions in the Matrix.
Right. And it's nice when it always works out because it's a risk.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was a risk. But again, doing technology like that for an iconic character like Smeagol and Gollum, super important that it's done right.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Anyway, if you haven't seen it in a while,
watch the extended editions.
Do it.
Take a whole weekend off and just
watch it at work.
That's a better option.
Yeah, I mean, if you can.
Just don't tell your boss.
Exactly.
But they'll understand.
We won't say. But yeah, super fun. What do we do at the end?
We end it with a question that you can send us, except we don't have any questions. So I'm just going to keep talking. But you can email us.
Yeah, we can do that.
At legitq@maddiesmoviesmix.com.
Yeah.
Do it. Send it.
Do it now. See you next time. Hammer the share button. Go ahead and hammer out a comment to us. Go ahead and hammer the like button. Go ahead and hammer the subscription button. Go ahead and hammer the notification bells because you know what? That's the best way you can support us. We appreciate it.